Thanks for staying with us. I'm joined now by Kevin Lee, a UFC lightweight fighting out of Las Vegas. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You have a fight coming up July 15th against James Moontasri. That's in San Diego. We're going to start off talking, though, about International Fight Week, which is upon us. Next Saturday, we have Chad Mendes now fighting Conor McGregor instead of Jose Aldo, the defending champ. Is this fight as competitive, as quality as that original fight?
Absolutely. And a lot of people have been saying that too, that Conor should have went through Mendes to get to Aldo in the first place. I think it's a great matchup. You know, it should be a really good fight and a really good test for McGregor. Even if McGregor would have beat Aldo, people would have still in the back of their head said that he hadn't fought a high-level wrestler. So this actually gives him a chance to kind of validate it.
Who are you picking to win?
I think McGregor will win it.
And it's interesting because your background is in wrestling, and that's the same as for Mendes, but you don't think that'll be enough to win against McGregor?
No, I take a full approach to the fight game. The fight game is composed of a lot of different areas and not just one. I think Mendes is better in some spots, but in the overall fight game, I think McGregor will win it. McGregor's going to keep that distance. He's a southpaw, which is going to give him more of a problem. Mendes is shorter. You know, he's more compact. I think it's going to give him a lot of trouble.
And how big of a disadvantage is it for Mendes that he's taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice?
For him, I don't think it'll be too much of a worry. He's competed since he was 5, 6 years old, since he was a toddler. You know, and a lot of those competitions was not knowing who the guy was until 10 minutes before you step on the mat. So I don't think for him it'll be much of a problem. I think he trains year round and he stays in shape for it.
So that's July 11th. July 15th is your fight in San Diego. James Moontasri. He is great at Taekwondo. That is his specialty. Have you ever gone up against anybody like that?
No, I haven't. But I'm great at everything. So, you know, that's not a problem for me. He's a high-level Taekwondo black belt. I think he even trained, or he was getting ready to train Anderson Silva for the Olympics in Taekwondo if he was to compete for Brazil.
So then what kind of problems can he pose for you with Taekwondo? What have you noticed has been the key difference between that and, let's say, Muay Thai?
One of the hugest difference to me is the styles of kicks. You know, he's very comfortable throwing kicks from anywhere, and they come non-telegraphic, and that's the big thing is the unpredictability.
What kind of problems are you going to pose for him?
I think I give problems all around. I think I can put him on his back if I wanted to. I can stand and I can strike with him. I can kick with him. I can punch. You know, I think one of my best assets is going forward and keeping the pressure on him.
So the outcome of that, we're going to have to wait until July 15th. But one thing we know for sure is we're going to be seeing you in that new Reebok uniform revealed this week. What did you think about it stylistically, fashion-wise?
For me, you know, I'm not much of a fashion guy, but I didn't really like it. You know, I thought that it was very bland, and they didn't offer as much customization as was promised, to be honest.
And one way that you did kind of make yourself unique out there was by having your sponsors on your clothes. So you're no longer going to be allowed to do that. It's just Reebok. And so the other complaint outside of being not as unique is that you're losing some money because of not having sponsors on your clothes. Can you break it down how much you were used to getting paid from your sponsors per fight and now what Reebok will just be paying you?
This will be my 5th fight in the UFC, so I'm still in the 5 and under bracket, which is $2,500 per fight. Before I was making roughly twice that. So I'm losing out on a couple grand, but to me that's not really the issue. Too much, you know, it's being able to stand out a little more and market myself to other companies, which now it just makes my job a little bit harder.
Another change within the UFC is their drug policy. You've already noticed some changes as a result of it. It went into effect July 1st. What have you seen?
This is for the first time in my career. I've been randomly drug tested, and I was happy as can be. You know, I'm always happy whenever they call me. They randomly drug screen me twice for this camp, and I invite more.
How big of a problem is PED use within UFC or MMA in general?
I think it was a big problem. You know, I think it's starting to curve a little bit, especially these past 6, 7 months. But I think before that, it was a big problem. You had some of these super camps and stuff like that passing the stuff out, and guys were, you know, especially young guys, you know, impressionable, don't know no better. You know, you got to do what you got to do in order to compete, you feel. But now I think, you know, it's really starting to come around.
So we look forward to seeing you win July 15th. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Randy, back to you.